Welcome to UC Expo. My name's David Dungay. Today we are reporting live. I have with me Jeffrey Wood from an NHS hospital. How are you doing, Jeffrey?
Very good, thank you. Yes,
fantastic. So we were talking just off camera about your cloud migration journey, and quite an interesting story here, Jeffrey. From the system you bought in 1989
yes.
to only 4 years ago and going to the cloud. That's quite a long time to not have reached that cloud space yet. Tell us about the last 4 years of being in the cloud and what you've found.
Yes, I think for us the stepping stone to get into the cloud was a big stepping stone. It was a cliff rather than a stone, to be fair. And we had a huge amount of change to undertake, and that's really what we've done in the last 4 years. I think now when we look at cloud-based applications in the future, it's easier for the change management side of things. But the last 4 years has just been working out what's best to use, what works for us, getting around systems because they don't come in exactly as you need them. There's a lot of changes to be done, and just making sure that we get the best for our patients.
Yeah, absolutely. And on UC today, we talk about hybrid working all the time, but I don't think people necessarily understand what that means for a hospital and how you operate. And we're at UC shows. Maybe you could tell us about, what does that look like from your perspective?
Yeah, sure. So again, if you think about a hospital, the clinical space in a hospital is limited, and you're probably talking about £1,000 a square metre for clinical space. We've managed to move all of our back office, all of our admin off-site to a purpose-built office, administration office, which is probably about £100 a square foot. So we've been able to expand the clinical places in the hospital because they're always old, they're always lacking space, and it's meant that we can also work from home. So when COVID came in, we were lucky to have done this just before COVID, so a lot of people were working from home. I go into the office once or twice a week, most of the IT team do the same. We can run everything remotely. Today I've got my phone with me, people will call me on my 8x8 telephony and I can answer just the same as though I was in the office. So it's made a huge difference. But there are other areas like our switchboard team. They don't actually have to be in the office. They don't need to be in the hospital. They can work from home. When they're working at night, there's lone working problems. So of course, you have to have two people in the switchboard office. Actually, if they're working from home, we don't have a lone working problem. So it's done some dramatic improvements that we didn't actually foresee originally.
Yeah, and what about from a patient perspective as well, and the kind of the channels that you're communicating with your patients
Sure.
on a daily basis?
Yeah, so video consultations dramatically increased, obviously, over COVID. They did slacken off within the last year, probably. A lot of people still do like that face-to-face. We are trying to do more video consultations. Our general targets are to increase that as we go along, but patients can reach us by a variety of means now, whether it's SMS, whether it's WhatsApp type approaches, or any of our video consultation styles as well. To be fair, most of them still want to come in face to face, and again, as we were talking about earlier, we've got a virtual receptionist coming in this year, which I can't wait to have there. Somebody that can talk in a patient's own language, somebody that can do sign language, and again, it's just another channel for our patients to utilise.
So clearly, we're standing in a room full of vendors, and I always like to ask this question when I talk to people like yourself. What do you need from the vendors you work with to really help support all of this stuff you're talking about, and really help drive that innovation around hybrid working?
So for me, I think partnership working is key. So I've come from a commercial background as well before I came into the NHS, and I think the one thing the NHS lacked was that partnership working. It's not customer-supplier relationship anymore. It's that true, we need to do things together to innovate. So I'm looking for partners all the time, people that have got a really strong roadmap, people that know where they're going and are willing to work with us to get the best for the systems for our patients.
And I understand you're doing some pretty cutting-edge stuff, not just for the NHS, but for any type of business, really. I'm really interested in these emerging technologies you're starting to use.
Sure. We use HoloLens. We're starting to use that for wall grounds, which is really, really good. We're doing a lot with artificial intelligence, so again, it speeds up things. It used to take about 2 weeks for a radiologist pathology image to be checked for something like cancerous cells or something like that. Now that's done by AI, and it will pick up immediately if there's an issue, and that will return to the radiographers within an hour, and they can look at it straight away. So a lot of that sort of technology has suddenly come on leaps and bounds recently. Generative AI is good for us. It's saving us a lot of hassle in writing terms of references and policies, because we just ask ChatGPT to do that for us now, which is great. We've also got rid of all of our bleeps and pages, which again is a big thing for hospitals. Yes, hospitals still do use bleep and pages, and there's somehow they're still using fax machines. So yeah, it's a long way for the NHS to come, but they have made dramatic leaps in the last few years.
Fantastic. So, Jeff, we're looking ahead into 2024. You've mentioned some of the technologies we write about on a daily basis. Gen AI, HoloLens is another one.
Sure.
What are you excited about? That's going to really help drive your business forwards.
So I think for us, it's a lot of the patient panel stuff, a lot of the patient portals. We're really keen to get patients being able to use digital technology themselves. So we're heavily looking at recycling and sustainability, getting our devices out to patients within our areas so that they can self-medicate, self-administer, self-measure. So it means that they don't need to come into the hospital so much. And again, having that technology will mean that patients can actually stay out for a month, 6 weeks before having to come back to the hospital, which saves clinicians time. But if something does go dramatically wrong, so if they've got a blood pressure monitor, for example, that will immediately spike alert to our clinicians, that will immediately spike alert to the patient, and then they can come in and we can pick up those sort of details. So that side of things, that sort of use of patients looking after themselves is going to be really key for the future of the NHS.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like there's a lot of efficiencies to come there.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, unfortunately that is all we've got time for, but I really enjoyed speaking to you. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. You've been watching me, David Dungay, on UC Today.